Good afternoon, my name is Julio Cesar Peña Galvan and I'm going to explain the chapter 4. I'm going to summarize it. And the chapter 4 is about ecosystems and communities. Well, in this chapter we will understand that in the interdependence between or in ecosystems, interdependence relationships in ecosystems, and we're going to understand how the biotic and biotic factors relate or has an interaction with organisms to obtain matter and energy. Well, in section 4.1 that is about climate, we have the difference between climate and weather. Well, climate is defined by the patterns or the year-by-year conditions of temperature and precipitation that are found in any place, and the weather is the day-by-day conditions that are in the Earth's atmosphere. We also have to know about the factors that shape global climate, that are the solar energy that is trapped in the atmosphere. These are greenhouse effects that contain the sunlight that hits the Earth, and then after hitting it will reflect and will be trapped by the greenhouse gases. And also something very important is the latitude that can affect the global climate. And finally, it's also shaped by the winds and ocean currents that transport heat and any other temperatures. Well, in section 4.2 there is niche and community interactions. We have to see about the niche. But what is niche? Niche is a range of physical and biological conditions in which a species or any organism lives. And we have to understand that there is a tolerance. The tolerance is the ability to survive. And where organisms live is the habitat. Okay? Well, what causes that two organisms live on the same habitat or on the same niche? Well, this is about the competition exclusion principle that it says that no two organisms can live in the same place at the same time and in the same niche, because they will compete and that's why there is a division of resources. That's why there's two species or different species in one tree, but in different sections of the tree to obtain the resources. There's also something very important that are the herbivores and the predators, that both can affect the size of the populations of what they eat and of the prey they eat, and determine the places where the organisms that they are eating where they can live or they can survive. We also have to understand the symbiosis. The symbiosis is the interaction between two organisms, and there is the mutualism, parasitism, and commensalism. Well, the mutualism is when both organisms interact and both are benefit, and the parasitism is when only one of the two organisms that are interacting one is only benefit and the other is harm by the one is benefit. Then the commensalism is when only one is benefit and the other is neither benefit or harm. And that's it of the section 4.2. In section 4.4, biomes are described in terms of abiotic factors like climate and soil type, and in terms of biotic factors as plants and animals. Well, we also have to understand that mountains and polarized caps are not easy to define, and there are 10 type of biomes. That is the northwestern coniferous forest, tropical rainforest, tropical dry forest, tropical grassland. There's also the boreal forest, the tundra, temperate forest, the desert, the temperate grassland, and the temperate woodland. There are the 10 most important, or the 10 biomes, 10 different type of biomes. Finally, section 4.5, aquatic ecosystems. Well, we have to know that aquatic organisms are affected primarily by the water's depth, temperature, flow, and amount of dissolved nutrients in there, so they can consume them and get energy. Then also we have to identify the kind of freshwater ecosystems. There are three categories. Well, the rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, and freshwater wetlands. Well, we have to also know or identify what are estuaries. Estuaries serve as spawning and nursery grounds for many ecologically and commercially important fish and shellfish species. Okay, so the estuaries are those places that can help any kind of organisms that live underwater. Also, ecologists finally typically divide the ocean into zones that are based on depth and distance from the shore. That one of them is the intertidal zone, the open ocean zone, and there's another one that is coastal zone.